Crimes committed against women. Feminist scholars have noted that it is more than a coincidence that much of the violence perpetrated against women has been done at the hands of males, often known to the victim. Violence against women can fit into several broad categories. Some of the forms of violence perpetrated by individuals are rape, domestic violence, sexual harassment, acid throwing, reproductive coercion, female infanticide, prenatal sex selection, obstetric violence, and mob violence, as well as harmful customary or traditional practices such as honor killings, dowry violence, female genital mutilation, marriage by abduction, and forced marriage. Many forms of violence against women, such as trafficking in women and forced prostitution, are often perpetrated by organized criminal networks. Rape. Women are most often the victims of rape, which is usually perpetrated by men known to them. The rate of reporting, prosecution, and convictions for rape varies considerably in different jurisdictions and reflects, to some extent, society's attitudes to such crimes. Violence or intimidation of the victim may be perpetrated by the rapist or by friends and relatives of the rapist as a way of preventing the victim from reporting the rape, of punishing them for reporting it, or of forcing them to withdraw the complaint. It may also be perpetrated by the relatives of the victim as punishment for bringing shame to the family. Marital rape. Marital rape is widely considered unacceptable violence against women now and repudiated by international conventions and increasingly criminalized. The criminalization of spousal rape is recent, having occurred during the past few decades. Domestic violence. Women are more likely to be victimized by someone they are intimate with, commonly called intimate partner violence. Women are much more likely than men to be murdered by an intimate partner. According to the WHO, globally, as many as 38% of murders of women are committed by an intimate partner. Spousal abuse. It is mostly committed by husbands against wives. Factors that predict spousal abuse include presence of alcohol. Excessive alcohol use may turn otherwise docile husbands into wife abusers. Access to weapons. A perpetrator's access to a gun and previous threats with a weapon may lead to abuse. Stepchild in the home. Having a stepchild living in the home may provoke abuse because the parent may have a more limited bond with the child. Estrangement. This may occur especially in the case of a controlling partner and subsequent involvement with another partner. Hostility toward dependency. Some husbands who appear docile and passive may resent their dependence on their wives and react with rage and violence. This reaction has been linked to sexual inadequacy. Excessive brooding. Obsession with a wife's behavior, however trivial, can result in violent assaults. Social learning. Some males believe society approves of spouse or mate abuse and use these beliefs to justify their violent behavior. Peer support helps shape their attitudes and behaviors. Socioeconomic factors. Men who fail as providers and are under economic stress may take their frustrations out on their wives. Flashes of anger. Research shows that a significant amount of family violence results from a sudden burst of anger after a verbal dispute. Having been battered children, husbands who assault their wives were generally battered as children. Unpredictability. Batterers are unpredictable, unable to be influenced by their wives, and impossible to prevent from battering once an argument has begun. Honor killings. Honor killings are perpetrated by male family members against women in the family who are believed to have brought dishonor to the family. Women are killed for reasons such as refusing to enter an arranged marriage, being in a disapproved relationship, attempting to leave a marriage, becoming the victim of rape, or dressing inappropriately. Honor killings are common in countries such as Afghanistan, Egypt, Iraq, Jordan, Lebanon, Libya, Morocco, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Syria, India, Turkey, and Yemen. There were 244 cases of honor killings of females reported in Punjab alone in 2018. Dowry violence. The custom of dowry is the trigger for many forms of violence against women. Bride burning is a form of violence in which a bride is killed at home by her husband or his family due to dissatisfaction with the dowry provided by her family. Dowry violence is common in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Nepal. Forced marriage. Forced marriages are common in South Asia, the Middle East, and Africa. The customs of bride price and dowry contribute to this practice. A forced marriage is often the result of a dispute between families, resolved by giving a female from one family to the other. Acid throwing. Acid throwing is defined as the act of throwing acid onto the body of a person with the intention of injuring or disfiguring them out of jealousy or revenge. The long-term consequences include blindness and permanent scarring of the face and body. Women and girls are the victims in 75 to 80% of cases. Such attacks are common in South Asia, especially in Bangladesh, Pakistan, and India, and Southeast Asia, particularly in Cambodia. Sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is abusive, uninvited, and unwelcome behavior of a sexual nature, typically in the workplace or educational environment, including intimidation, bullying, or coercion, and inappropriate promises of rewards for sexual favors. Human trafficking and forced prostitution. Human trafficking refers to acquiring persons by force, fraud, or deception for exploitation. Forced prostitution occurs as a result of coercion by a third party. Female genital mutilation, FGM. According to the WHO, FGM involves partial or total removal of the external female genitalia for non-medical reasons. A 2013 UNICEF report stated that 125 million women and girls in Africa and the Middle East have experienced FGM. Violence against trans women. Trans women face intimate partner violence, abuse by police, and violence from clients in sex work. Many shelters accept only cisgender women, making it harder for trans survivors to find safety. Cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is a form of intimidation using electronic contact. Misogynistic rhetoric is prevalent online, increasing debates on gender-based attacks and calls for better policy interventions. Women often face abuse by men they know, creating barriers to prosecution and perpetuating societal norms that leave women as safe targets for victimization.